Hi guys, just was going through the video, doing my editing to get the AMA up for last night. STEPN, we had the 11th of December, our second weekly AMA, and from someone who records these on a daily, if not weekly basis, it's devastating to find. I'll show you. You see Jerry talking, but we don't see Jerry. We don't hear Jerry in the video. So unfortunately, my video didn't actually record. It's super frustrating because not only does it make me feel unprofessional, but it doesn't get me to portray to the crowd what's been said on the night. So I've done a rewatch of the entire thing. By rewatch, listening to me talk, ask the questions, and then get answers from both Jerry and Yawn. And I'll try to go over some of those highlighted points and add in a couple of extra points as we go along. So obviously not an ideal situation, but I want to make sure we get through to the crowd some of these important things that were talked about last night. So first off, we introduced Jerry and Yawn to stage. They've had a super busy week, and they've had so much happen with the last week, obviously, with the NFT drops we'll talk about. But they actually had a couple of live events in Adelaide yesterday. So there was a 6-hour marathon and also a mountain climbing event. So they'll definitely be getting into some live events and events happening in Australia first. And throughout the country, they talked about there's going to be more and more coming up in the next year. And if we remember back to last week's AMA, they're talking about it being a first online marathon offering. So you want to make sure this is a product that you can do and you can walk these distances. So also worth noting, we had 30 people at the start of the night, and you can just see as the night went on, we had up to almost 60 people. So before we finished up, so it was a really impressive night. I was super happy. Half an hour goes so very quickly in these situations. So other questions asked was, we talked about GPS tracking. So people have asked if they're isolating at home, what are their options going to be with an app like STEPN. So we did talk about that. GPS finds it hard to monitor within buildings through walls and roofs. So you need to be trying to walk in an outside environment. If you've got a backyard that's got some kind of radius of maybe 10 meters, you can walk in that 10 meters. But otherwise, if you can get out and get yourself to a track, if you can get yourself to a small oval, then that will be a lot better for you. But yeah, there's obviously certain limitations. They won't be adding anything in early to do with tracking apps, so you won't be able to use treadmills, you won't be able to use push bikes, playing things like squash, golf. They're not absolutely going to be within that field of view at the start, because you have to remember the game wants to put out, you're going to hear a term called MVP throughout crypto and gaming, minimal viable product, and that talks about getting out the game and the app in a playable situation where the most important thing is the economy is set up, that it's a robust economy and played, and they will try to add these apps and these extra bonuses and benefits throughout down the track and come up with different sneakers and options. The big one for the day was the NFT drop for the early adopters, for the beta testers, and we'll talk a little bit more about the Discord as well. So you can see on Magic Eden, they're listed. They did have some sales yesterday. They sold a few. Today there hasn't been any movements. I'm keenly watching this because we'll talk about the breeding shortly, but I think these are going to sell. I'm quietly confident. I'm going to be buying myself a second pair. So you get the shoebox. There's two different types. And with the green ones, it's a higher percentage chance to get a better pair of sneakers. So there's different grades of sneakers, and we know that by having a look at the white paper. So you've got 4 different types: walkers, joggers, runners, trainers, and then you've got 5 different qualities: common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. And this is important. If you plan on playing this game, you should know this white paper. I need to reread it a third time. There is a lot of information in here that is just waiting to be unearthed, and that leads into, while I'm talking about it, not the films and TV, I want to go into the Discord. The Discord, you can actually get access to NFTs. You can still earn NFTs in this before the 20th. So it's important to know, come 20th, these sneakers are going to be super, super valuable and important, because you're going to be able to earn GST before anybody else. And it takes 2 pairs of sneakers to breed into any of the other ones. So to breed the sneakers is you can breed them 7 times, and you learn that from the white paper. But get an NFT airdrop, invite 3 friends, take the quiz, get an NFT reward. So hourly, they run quizzes, they run competitions, and it's done by an auto pop quiz bot. And there's a winner every hour. So every hour they put that out, it is definitely generating hype. It is definitely adding to the effect of it. But these have been dropped. They're in effect. And on the 20th, between the 20th and the 22nd, you need to take these this shoebox into the game and open them up. Much like many other things, many other games that are coming up. If you don't use them during that window, then that'll just be an empty NFT. So you are going to need to make sure you use these in the game from the 20th to the 22nd. So there is still a chance to get in early. That was one of the big bits of alpha for the night. I did mention that you can earn GST first, and I've talked about the breeding. So it's important to learn about the breeding because it's going to be important for population of the game. It's only people with the what do they call them? It's a vintage, I believe is the term, the vintage sneakers, season 1. You actually get a role in the Discord. I'll look at my name for starters. You get the season 1 club role. Eventually there's going to be a season 2, season 3. They did mention that as well. But you get that season 1, you get the season 1 sneakers, and you use those to breed out more sneakers. And you need 2 sneakers. There is going to be a chart down here. Where is it? That when you breed the different types, if you breed a walker and a walker, there's your percentage. 85% chance that it's going to breed out a pair of walkers. If you breed 2 trainers together, then there's a 25% chance that it'll be one of the 4. It is pretty cool. There's a lot of options in here. There's a lot to learn. We talk about that. We've talked about the 4 types of sneakers. The team, a question was put forward, what did the team think that they were going to have the most of? And the team has said they think the walkers are going to go the most popular at the start. So 1 to 5 kilometers on the walkers. I think they could probably scale that up to 6 kilometers. But we'll see how that comes gameplay, because you just find when you're walking, you can easily walk over that 5 kilometer per hour margin. And then it gives you you don't get as maximum earning from walking that. So maybe those walkers might not be yours. You'll want something like the trainers. Game balances for the open beta 2. So there's a lot to know about open beta 2 when it comes out. And there's actually going to be new apps to download from both Apple and Android stores. You no longer use your beta game that we're currently using, which is still usable at the moment. The assets that you've got in that game, the sneakers, any leftover GST, GMT, gems, none of that transfers into the new game. That was exactly that, a beta testing, and you get the NFT drop from the team for your time and investment into that. And I mean, we're looking at 3 Solana floor at the moment, so that's a good close to $600 for these NFTs. That's a very valuable drop for being in early and a part of the team and the crowd. Fitness tracker question was asked, are they going to put a fitness tracker into it? And the answer was no, not at the start. That goes back to the question about the MVP. They need to make sure they get the app out and it's workable with the game of what they have, which is walking, jogging and running. And that's more important at the moment, because you've got other apps that you already use for your fitness trackers. You probably enjoy those apps. You can use those apps still whilst using your STEPN app. So there was also a good question asked about why are we going Web3? Why does this need to be on blockchain? And Yawn did a really great explanation of it. I'm going to mash up that explanation, but a lot of it comes down to it gives us a chance to take this to millions and millions of users around the world with Web3. There's a created wallet by the team that's going to be simple to use. It's going to be cross-chain. They've done their own bridge. So if you want to earn Bitcoin, you can transfer your GST into Bitcoin. If you want to take it as Solana, I'll take mine as Solana. No, I'll keep it in the game. But It's all going to be very simple to use at the start for onboarding new people. And why does it need to be blockchain? That's definitely things we need to think about. We need to educate our people that are playing the game, because there's going to be a lot of people that know nothing about Bitcoin even. They know nothing about having to have USDC to buy other coins and all of these kinds of things. So that comes down to people like myself to get out good educational videos, to do these AMAs, have an opportunity for us to ask the crowd, to ask these developers and get the answers behind it. So Web3 is super exciting, and it's very exciting to see such a simple process of walking, keeping healthy, and it amazes me. It is one of the most exciting apps I've played with at the moment for, something that we do every day. We walk, we run. Not everybody runs, but everybody walks every day, and there is a way to monetize that and make money. The beta apps, we'll go back into that. So you can still play the beta app that you've got. I'm still testing. So I ran my trainers to level 30, and I've been walking now with my walkers to test them and see how they compare. There is a less earning curve. That is something that I've, like you can read about, but it is also cool to play test it. So they have a scale. Where is the scale? Here we go here. Type walkers, optimal speed, 1 to 4 kilometers, 4 GST per 1 energy spent. Whereas if you were to do that with the trainers or the runners, then you would be earning more GST per energy spent. So you're going to need to find what works for you. And this is where some of these videos that have come out that we've done, where people have play tested different types of sneakers, and you look at that, you research it, you check it out on the white paper. But you can still play that. You can still muck around with the gems. You can still put the gems in and out, learn the fact that doing so costs you GST. There are extra bits of information, of course, on the white paper. I did mention that we can download the game come the 20th. We're going to have to download the new version of the game. And they actually talk about how there's going to be interface updates, and that it's actually gone through 2 updates. I think it's version 3 currently on our phone. I'd have to double check that, but it's going to be like a version 5. But definitely have to reiterate that you need to move those shoe boxes into the wallet for the app, where you've got your app, and open those up between the 20th and the 22nd. We talked about free to play. Is the game free to play? You are going to need to hire a set of sneakers at the start, but once you start walking and earning GST, you can work towards buying your own sneakers. So there's no easy answer to that. It does say that it gives us more NFT utility and value of getting in and getting these NFT early. And this is why I think that's going to be one of the reasons why it pushes prices on the floor on that. Shoebox numbers. So we see that the Shoebox 70, Shoebox 107, 118, 126, 123. So does that make any difference towards that particular NFT? Just for a collectible point of view. So you can see that they're lower in the numbers. Number 1 and 2, I will believe, given out to the most active people in Discord. And that goes to show that they're rewarding the people that have been busy and active in their community. If you do watch the AMAs, you'll see me drinking my coffee a lot. Team question in AMA, message team and me. So one of the questions that was asked, as well as that, not questions that was asked, but towards the closing thoughts of it, was Jerry did note down that if you guys have any questions that you need answered through the week, we are always available. So we have a live questions channel. You're quite welcome, if you don't need an immediate answer, to put it in there. I try and go through there and answer the questions that I can that have been from previous AMAs. You can see Jerry does answer questions in there as well. And the main channel, where is the main channel? I've gone past it. The discussion channel is very busy. Gilgamesh, he's very, very busy. I'd like to see what number his level is in the Discord. But there's a lot of active people. The team is very active. It is a friendly team. It is a team that is building a utility project. It's going to be super awesome. So I hope I've wrapped that up enough. I'm so devastated I missed the recording. I always do a test beforehand. This is the second time this has happened to me. So I've been very very cautious of doing my videos beforehand, but it did show up as good beforehand. Unfortunately, it didn't come through. So super important information to know. Our next AMA will be on the 18th or 19th, so just before the public beta launch. I think it's going to get super busy by then, but remember, there's still a chance to get in and earn yourself a set of sneakers. So get an NFT drop, get in there, have a look, have a read, and hope I've helped. Thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.